Hello everyone, welcome to today's analysis of the NQ and a little bit of related markets. It is Friday, the 7th of February. So yesterday I was talking about being in a short from around here. And I was looking at lower liquidity. I was looking for this area, 21,700 or so, and I had a few zones below. But we seem to just kind of front run that area. There was a naked data VWAP here, past data VWAP, sorry, and we seemed to react off that, get absorption. It was before news, so I was like, to hell with it, I'm out, and closed that pretty nicely actually. Yeah, it was a 4.69. Nice. And then US chopped around. We seemed to create a bit of a base here. We took internal liquidity and pushed up. Asia had this big old swipe. There was a few SMTs down here. Asia put in this high, and then we had this very, very drawn out pullback into flat lows. Took liquidity. Changed character for UK, and now, given the context, I'm cautiously bullish, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm in a long from about here, 21,850 on the dot. My invalidation is 21,833. If we break that low, I wouldn't even really pay attention to these zones down here. Maybe you get a scalp or two, but if we do break this low and we start making bearish structure, I think we would come down to this area, which we have built a lot of liquidity above. The thing is it's Friday. They've shown somewhat of a desire to hit more offers, and it would make sense, seeming as what we've come into right now. It is a block. True, it is a block. It's a 30-minute block. But the liquidity catalyst zones here are few and far between. We're in a breaker at the moment. There is a chance that it does a job and breaks us down from here, definitely. But I do also see them coming into maybe this little pocket, 21,940, or even gunning. Now bear with me here. Gunning for this zone, 21,038. That would provide, it's a high volume node, make a point of control, there's some liquidity up there, there's vector recovery, the works. That zone, if we did come up to there, would be such a crazy extension that I could then see them, well, it wouldn't go backwards, but I could then see them getting a very strong reaction to pull back into the structure we made, if they don't want to pull it back here. Money flow lends itself, on the higher time frames especially, for a swipe of this. For a swipe of this high. Now, that's messy. What's going on here? Yeah, the thing is this whole push up seems to me again like they're just really trying their best to hit as much offers as possible. It doesn't seem like something that could break us out of this range. Now I could be wrong. This could be the one that brings us up here and then even higher. But yeah, I'm going to take it as it comes. I feel like there's a chance that we could make a very intense push up into bids, whether that brings us just kind of relatively internal and we just take the high and pull back, or whether we gun for this consolidation up here around 22k, is yet to be seen. We did get signs, some signs, messy signs, mixed signs at these highs of um, of uh, of absorption. But you know, I would TP around 21,941 or 20,030. Those would be my two levels. So I would say here would be my long TP. And then here below would be my long TP2. Now, if we break down, I would focus shorts into structure down to 21,660 or even 21,600 or so. And there's a chance we could come, you know, lower at that stage, but yeah, it seems to me it's a bit tricky again up at this zone. Liquidity seems to be a bit stretched, but if they're going to want to come into some place that is going to be full of money, there is this high here, which has been around for a week or so, and then there's this high back here, which is about 3 weeks old, 2.5 weeks old, right? Wait, is that right? 10, 12, 12 days. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh no, it's more. Yeah, it's 2 weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks. So they have a 2-week liquidity pool sitting up here. Now, they also have what they've built on the way up, you know, and I'm aware that they could take this high because money flow is so thin on the lower time frames. They could take this high and then see, I'm thinking even my drawings are up here. I feel like if they're going to take this high, they would come to here and then boom, straight back and then range it out in here, which would be rather nice for next week. Pulling it back, you know, they could pull it back. Well, maybe not like that, but they could pull it back into structure. If they did, I would be relatively more bullish for the future, right? I would be eyeing this 12-hour OB up here way more readily, depending on what happens down here. But yeah, for now, I mean, I can't help but ignore the fact that they seem to be accumulating at this zone. Yeah. The tricky thing about dealing with structure in this drop is we don't have, and I said this before, we don't have many or any structural points to use on this drop. So technically, all of this is bearish liquidity that we're tapping into, right? Which makes it particularly dangerous to long, especially up here, because any genuine bearish breaks of structure would be this pull taking over, right? And that, you know, that would spell danger. I'm also using that logic to rationalize the fact that if they've spent this entire week pulling up to here and they've made it to this important structural point, that at this stage it would make sense for them to run shorts, and that would displace greater structure, right? It would displace greater structure, and it would, you know, be a run for profits. And yeah, it seems to me like that might be what they're doing. And we just got signs here, man. We just got signs, you know. So I'm playing that. Yeah, I'm in a long anyway. My invalidation is this low. Why? Because that's what my model says. That's what my timing models say. If we break that low, I'll have lost one, and that's okay. That's fine. I'll learn more about what state the actual market is in. Yeah. So that's it. It's Friday. If they're pushing in a way that doesn't make sense to you, I would just suggest, you know, take a step back and realize that Fridays are normally driven by rather impulsive moves, rushes. This kind of bullish narrative is also actually supported on like the weekly at this stage. We've had such incredibly bullish signs on the weekly. You know, we didn't get pullbacks when I thought we would. Doesn't mean, you know, they set up a nice area here to come back into, but at this stage now, with what they've done, I think we could just push for offers. So this is also backed up by not necessarily the yields. The yields have taken a, well, yeah, they've taken a bit of a dump, right? We have liquidity on the yields that we seem to be around, and it seems like they could make a push down. Gold seems to be hitting some kind of top locally, perhaps. It's hitting resistance. I mean, look, I'm not going to say tops or bottoms. It's hitting resistance. It's showing signs of absorption in this area. And most importantly, the yen is has come into resistance. They seem to be selling, and yeah, I don't think we're out of the water yet, or out of the woods, sorry, with the yen and its threat to the stock market in general. But I wouldn't be surprised if we had a very controlled pullback on the yen, which adds up. And the DXY is just struggling with this massive gap up and close below that we had. So yeah, even if it's just short-lived, I feel like they could push up. Now look, guys, I could be completely wrong. We're trapped between two Asian extremes. We have this one and this one. It's up to them what they decide to focus now. They take the low, like, I don't see us stopping until US comes in and goes, hey, what do you think you're doing? If they take the high, it's the same story. I don't think they're going to stop. I think at this stage it's going to be a run for profit scenario. I don't really like, I mean, they could range here, but I just don't see many footholds for them to range comfortably. I mean, when US comes in, things can change, but we're sitting right below this pocket, man. This pocket of liquidity. We're sitting right below it. I feel like we could have one big gung-ho swipe to the upside. Whatever happens, I'll update you on Monday. Happy trading, and yeah, have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.